Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what episode are we on, Sid? 9-ish, 10-ish. I'm most excited about it. I've been excited about this one.
Good.
This is Dan Gardner. He is the chief sales officer of Bucked Up. If you haven't heard of Bucked Up, you probably don't live on this planet. He's the one. He's the one behind the sales. He also has a beautiful family, 3 kids.
3 kids.
Great family, extended family, everything that. We'll go into that. And happy to consider him a friend, DJ Dan.
What's up?
So you're probably wondering, man, what happened to his face? This is just him. No, just kidding. He got into a fight this weekend. We're going to talk about that, but that's not like what I loved about, you know, Dan, if you know Dan, you know what he just went through. We're going to talk about that, but I love your post because it was about like your family and your why and your age and proving to yourself and all that stuff. So let's go into that. Let's talk about this. So tell us about where you're from, kind of your background. One of your posts talked about that a little bit. So tell us about your background. And
Yeah. So, I am 41.
As of a couple of days ago.
Yeah, as of just a couple of days ago.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I grew up here in Utah, Clearfield, Utah is where we grew up. Grew up kind of on a farm ranch kind of feel. The youngest of 8 kids. And we just grew up poor, but we didn't know we were poor. Mm-hmm. We just knew how to work. You know,
I've met 5 of you and 4 other siblings.
Yeah.
And all of you just have this hunger. The ones that I've met. Your sister that runs the shop in
great.
And then obviously the twins and then you. It's awesome. That's bread, dude. That's that's a culture.
Every single one of us, you know, we've got that fire in us. We've got that discipline that if there's something that we want in life that we know we've got to put, this is what my dad calls it. He calls it asses and elbows, right? There was a story where we went out into a field and we were having to dig trenches to help with this irrigation line. And my dad yells out, "I just want to see asses and elbows." And we're like, "What the?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to see your heads up. I don't want to see anything. You want to be the hardest working people out there. And people want to remember the Gardners for asses and elbows because that's all they're going to see." And so for us, we always knew that in order for us to get anything done or to get any achievement, we knew we had to work our asses off just to get whatever we wanted to. So, you know, being the youngest of 8, I felt like I had something I had to prove, right? My upbringing was a little bit, I would say, easier than my brothers or even my sisters. You know, being the youngest, I was spoiled.
Yeah.
You know, my dad had kind of calmed down. My mom, you know, they've learned a lot in rearing kids. And so finally when I came around, it wasn't as bad. But I also saw the examples of my brothers and sisters beforehand not to mess with mom and dad. Yeah. So I learned my lesson. I didn't want to make them any more angry than, you know, needed to.
Yeah.
So I was a pretty obedient kid and did what they told us to. And, you know, our sport and growing up was basketball. But as you can tell, I didn't really get the height. I kind of got the short stick on that, literally. And so our sport growing up was always playing basketball and everything like that. And so I tried out for the basketball team and I got cut. It was my dad's cousin. He cut me from the basketball team. And I was like, what the heck? And anyway, so my whole journey in becoming like this fighter / competitor, it happened when I got cut from the basketball team and my friends asked me to go and wrestle.
Which if I see you, I wrestled in high school, not nearly as much as you did or nearly as successful, but I did wrestle for 5 years.
Yeah.
You can pick out a wrestler from a room.
Oh, yeah.
Just their build, but also the way they move. Mm-hmm. I'll say it. I will die on this hill that wrestlers are the toughest dudes on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Like you see a dude with cauliflower ear, shake his hand, look him in the eye, don't piss him off.
Yeah, don't
that dude will mess you up. You know what I mean? So that's how you transitioned from basketball to wrestling. Tell us about your wrestling experience because I know you were wildly successful in wrestling, right?
Yeah. So I actually went through junior high, had a really successful junior high. I didn't do anything crazy until I got into high school. And in high school, I was 103 pounds. Soaking
Serious?
wet. I was tiny. Yeah, lowest
I didn't
weight.
know that. What
itty bitty.
Like sophomore or?
Sophomore
year.
year.
Okay.
I was tiny. I went and wrestled against the guy that was our varsity for 103, and I pinned him in the first round. And my coach just was floored. He couldn't believe that I could beat this guy. And so I had this little chip on my shoulder, feeling like I was pretty hot stuff, a sophomore being varsity and everything. And there was this big match coming up against Viewmont High School. And they had a kid that wrestled there, and you know him. You know him really well.
Oh, is it?
It's Ben.
Ben? Wait,
Ben
how old was
Kerr.
Ben?
Same. We're the
Same age. Oh, same age.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't know Ben, I mean, dude, you two are both still actively.
Oh, yeah. Ben and I are homies. But
I love Ben.
The story of Ben Kerr is that he's this phenomenal wrestler. Everybody knew him in the entire state. Everybody knew how amazing he was. And here I am coming up to get about to wrestle him. I never wrestled him before. I was like, what does this guy have on me?
Yeah.
There's no way this guy's going to beat me. So 103 pounds, first time ever wrestling him. It was at our hometown, at our home school at Clearfield. And I went out there. He and I wrestled. And they stopped the match in the second round because he tech-falled me.
That dude
ate my lunch. He kicked my trash. It was awesome. It was one of the most humbling experiences I've ever had, where he was literally the only person that has ever tech-falled me, period. Ever.
Like,
ever. Period. Ever.
And if you're going to get tech-falled by someone, like...
Yeah, it means he's up by 15 points. It's like a mercy rule.
Yeah.
Right?
That's crazy.
So he totally killed me. And I went on to wrestle the whole rest of the year. I ended up taking 5th in state. So pretty good as a sophomore.
Crazy good.
No outside training or anything like that.
I don't know if people understand how good wrestling is in Utah, too. I think wrestling in Utah gets overlooked, but there's some dudes.
There's some.
I mean, there's some dudes in our... And it's getting more and more, but... I mean, even back when there was some... Yeah. I mean, you got the Binghams from Alta. You've got, like, I mean, the Gardner...
Sandersons.
Like Sandersons, like, there's some dudes. And wrestling in Utah is good.
Yeah.
So
with Ben... After the state championship, there was a guy that came up to me. His name's Greg Williams. And he came up and he said, hey, I want you to come and wrestle in this elite wrestling program.
Cool.
And I was like, okay, what is this? He's like, well, we only take usually the top 3 that place in state. They come and be a part of this. It's like the top tier wrestlers in the state. And I looked at him straight up and I said, well, is Ben Kerr on the team? And he's like, absolutely. Why do you think he was a state champion? And I said, well, yeah, I want to be on the team.
Love it.
I want to wrestle Ben Kerr every single day until I can beat him.
How much of that do you think that, like, a lot of people would be like, is Ben on? I don't want to do that. I don't want to semi. Yeah. How much of that is from your upbringing, that asses and elbows? Like, how much of that, like, desire to get better and win came from that culture bred inside your family?
Yeah, I mean, we always knew that if we wanted to be the best, we had to go against the best.
Yeah.
Ben was the very best. And I knew that if I ever even wanted a shot at taking a state title or being a good wrestler, I had to go against the very best.
Totally. Yeah.
It's scary, right? Nobody wants to go and get their butt kicked every single day.
Yeah.
But I did.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be the best. I knew that was the only way that I was going to be the best. So went in there and started wrestling Ben every single day. Ended up my senior year. Well, my junior year, I should have taken the state title. I was up 5-0 in the state championship. I ended up getting head thrown, pinned.
What weight were you in, junior?
112.
112. So
yeah.
you
I didn't get to wrestle Ben. Ben went up to 119. I was in 112.
Ben was bigger than you? Ben
was bigger than me in my junior year.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But then come our senior year, I wrestled 125, and Ben should have wrestled 125, but there was another guy on his team that was equally as good, that should, he was positioned to take the state title and everything like that. It was a guy named Zach Morby.
Uh-huh.
And me and Zach at 125 put on the best wrestling clinics. Like, every time that we had a match, we wrestled 3 times before the state championship, and Zach actually beat me every single time by 1 point. He beat me in our duel. He beat me in a tournament. He beat me in the regional tournament, and I had always taken second place. And then finally in the state championship, I got to wrestle Zach Morby for the championship, and I beat him 5-1.
Love it.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. So kind of a cool story where just that mentality of growing up, becoming a wrestler, becoming it by getting my butt kicked and then overcoming that and becoming a victor.
Yeah.
And that's something that Ben talks a lot about, becoming that victor. And it's something that's earned. I had to work my butt off to get that. And so,
but you can still feel the pride, like state champ, like you'll carry that till you die. Like that 18, 17-year-old kid, like that's awesome. So after you won state, what was the plan after that? Like, what'd you do?
I had a few scholarships. I was going to go wrestle. I had to wrestle like Boise State, Western Wyoming, University of Illinois, a couple of different colleges that wanted me to go out and wrestle for them. But I decided to go on a mission for my church.
Okay. Where'd you go?
I served in Jamaica.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Hold on. What years were you there?
I was there from 2003 to 2005.
Dude, that's when I served in the Philippines. Side note, did you ever know Jangard?
Yeah.
Elder Andy Jangard?
Are you kidding me? One of the coolest dudes you ever met.
Still one of the coolest dudes you ever met.
I haven't seen him since my mission.
Really? I'll have to connect you.
Do you have his number?
Yeah.
For real?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'd love to.
Dude, that dude could make people look silly on a baseball diamond.
Bro.
He made people fall over while they're batting.
We were playing catch on a P-Day.
Did he? Wait, were you companions?
Broke.
Were you companions?
I swear it broke my hand.
Oh,
we weren't companions, but we served in the same house.
Dude, he's jacked now.
Is he really?
Bro, he is jacked. He works up in Park City. Oh, yeah, in high school he was beanpole. Yeah, I just seen him the other day. He has 3 little girls. He had twin girls and then another little girl. Our girls dance at the same studio. Yeah, dude, I just caught up with him for a few minutes.
No way.
He is one of the most unique individuals. He's so cool. But that dude could make people look silly on a ball diamond.
Man, I'll never forget we were in the soccer field and he was throwing this ball and I was like, yeah, let's play catch. 3 throws into it. I was like, dude, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Did he throw? Because he threw junk that you would be here and it would drop. And he would do that on purpose and it'd hit you in the nuts. Well, because you'd be here thinking and all of a sudden, thunk.
I don't think he dared do that. Man, that guy.
Dude, he is. But he's jacked now. He plays a lot of old man softball.
That's awesome.
And he just rakes.
Oh,
anyway, small world, dude. Okay, so you served
in Jamaica.
We'll have to get together with Jangard, dude, because that dude's still, I got his number, so I'll call him. But Jangard. Anyway.
Yeah, went on a mission, came back. My brothers, they had started an internet marketing company and became super successful.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where my career started with my brothers. I've been riding my brother's coattails since I've been home from my mission, man.
And yeah, we'll talk about this too, but working with family sometimes a grind. Sometimes it's not easy.
It is.
So you get home, you jump right in with these guys with their internet marketing stuff.
Yep. Started working with them. We did 8 years of this internet marketing, affiliate marketing stuff. And we were kind of the leaders of the pack when it came from the type of marketing that we would do with our affiliate marketing or with our email marketing or social media marketing or whatever it was. Because like at that time, there was no social media.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It was all emails, pay-per-clicks, all that kind of stuff. And we kind of figured it out, and we worked really well with a lot of different companies. And we're super successful. And then it came to the point where there were some things that happened, and it just, that kind of business a little bit fizzled off.
Uh-huh.
And so while we were doing that, I had the opportunity to go and work with a buddy that was doing home loans. And he's like, hey, why don't you come over and do this? You can make some good money. And so I ended up going over there and working with him, kind of reinvented how they did their home loan structures.
You just took like your marketing stuff from here and said, hey, we could use this. Is that what you did, what you learned with the marketing stuff and implemented it? Or
yeah, a little bit, but it was more so just my work ethic.
Yeah.
You know, if I was going to go and do something, I always knew that I was going to be the best at it.
Yeah.
Right. I just had that mentality that there wasn't going to be anybody on the floor that was going to put in more hours or that was going to outwork me.
Yeah.
Right. I might not be the best salesman, but no one will match my work ethic.
It's like that.
Period.
Will Smith. He's like, I will die on the treadmill.
That's right.
Like I will, if we're running, you don't even know we're competing, but I will die on the treadmill.
Oh,
That's the type of mentality. Yeah.
Every time.
And I see it, dude. I see it still when we go hang out or whatever. Like I come up and see you guys.
Yeah.
You're always just grinding.
Always grinding. So went in there, did loans, became one of the top loan officers in the nation, totally made it to that company. Low VA Rates was the name of the company.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were doing more loans than they had ever done, and it was awesome. And we were just killing it for a long time. I did 2 years of doing summer sales.
What did you sell?
I worked for Vivint.
Okay.
Doing home automation. And again, that same thing. Nobody was going to outwork me. So I ended up out of like 1,400 new recruits, I was like number 3.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool doing that. And,
that's not easy.
Oh,
door to door will beat you down. In fact, I sold for 16 years. I don't know if you know that.
Did you really?
Yeah. And back to the wrestling thing. If I was ever trying to recruit someone new, they were a wrestler, dude, I'd throw whatever I needed to. Because I knew that work ethic wasn't going to be a problem. And I knew that getting like a door slammed in your face would just piss them off.
Yeah.
Most 95% of wrestlers, right, would just piss them off and make them want to go harder at the next door.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mentality. It's a culture, that wrestling fighter culture, and we'll get into that.
There was actually a cool article in Forbes that says like the very best people to hire are wrestlers.
Oh, well.
And I'll have to send you that.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
It's pretty dang cool.
And I got one son, and he plays everything, but he won't wrestle, and it pisses me off. Dude. I'm like, dude, come on, man. But he just went, anyway, I'll get him though. But okay, so you went and did summer sales.
Did summer sales.
Were your brothers still at the marketing company at that point?
They were still doing their own thing. They were doing Amazon businesses. Those guys, you know, if you know Jeff and Ryan. Entrepreneurs. Like, dude, whatever they touch, it goes to gold.
Yeah.
Because they're one of the only ones that, this is my opinion, right? They're one of the only peoples that I know that can see a process from point A to point Z.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that can come up with really, really good ideas, but they don't know how to implement it. They don't know how to market it. They don't know how to fulfill it. They don't know how to do all the facets of it. Whereas these guys, they can see it from the beginning all the way to the end.
That's kind of how you and I, we met before, but you and I have kind of become friends again is through this. But your brother, Jeff, and just because I work with Jeff with the apparel side more than Ryan, has become a mentor to me, but he's intimidating. Like when I go, like we'll be shooting the shit or whatever, he and I are talking, and then we get to like business side of stuff, and I have to flip a switch because he flips a switch. You probably see it every day.
Oh yeah.
He's like, hey, all right, business. Yeah. And it's like, it doesn't matter. What I learned is like to them, it's not the dollar signs, it's the win. It's the W.
Every time.
Like they don't like, and I'm sitting there thinking one day, I'm like, he doesn't care about that percent. He just wants me to like, he wants to get the very best deal, and he's so good at it.
Yeah. And it's long-term stuff with them. You know, they're willing to take the hit at the very beginning just to see that the process actually works.
Yeah.
So long-term, they're making that coin.
Well, in my experience too, is Jeff is extremely giving with his time, with me at least, to help mentor me because my business is relatively young. But also they're loyal. He told me one time, he said, with you guys might be the only company that I just say, I lay it out. Like I lift up skirt. This is what we got. This is what we charge. And Jeff told me one time, as long as you never charge us more than this, we'll use you forever. Yeah. And I know for sure how many other apparel companies go in there
every day
and they call me and they say, hey, you've been honest with us, so keep using. So I respect that about those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're doing their own thing over here. Were they upset when you left to go do your own mortgage?
No, not really. I mean, they understood.
Yeah.
You know, I needed
just
to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And everything.
Were you married at this point? Okay.
I got married right before I went out and did summer sales.
Okay.
And that was hard. You know, taking your wife out. But again, that's the whole why behind working so hard and everything like that.
So how'd you meet your wife?
It's a funny story. So I was a sponsored wakeboarder for a while. And I had my own boat. Did you know that?
No.
Know that?
Who were you a sponsor? Who is you?
So Parks Sportsman. If you remember Parks, it's not around
this is funny.
Anymore,
I didn't know.
Parks Sportsman down in Orem, they were one of the first ones to carry Ronix wakeboards.
Okay.
And at the time, that's when I was actually doing a lot of fun stuff, which we'll get into because I kind of skipped by it all.
Yeah.
But I was actually a DJ. That's where
DJ Dan.
DJ
Dan, yeah.
Had a huge following in Utah County. I'd throw parties and 4,000 or 5,000 people would show up to these parties.
Serious?
It's pretty dang cool.
Oh, that is cool.
And so they wanted me to become this athlete for wakeboarding just to get the brand out there a lot. So Ronix Wakeboards and Parks Sports, they were the ones that sponsored me, and because I could do basically anything on a wakeboard.
Do you still wakeboard?
I do a little bit. I'm old, but I can still throw my you have the 3 or 4 that you have in your back pocket that you can land and not get hurt.
I've never been able to like stand up, dude.
Really?
Well, I can stand up on it, and the thing is I'm not athletic. I just get scared because I caught my front edge one time and smacked my head in the water.
Yeah.
and I was done after that.
Oh yeah, it hurts.
It hurts bad, yeah.
But to get back to how I met my wife, I actually had this boat. My cousin, she's from Seattle, and she flew into town, and my mom's like, hey, your cousin's in town. Can you take her out on your boat? So she hits me up, and I didn't know my cousin because she grew up in Seattle. I didn't really know her that well. And I was like, yeah, sure, you can come out. Just know we're a little rowdy. We like to have fun and stuff. She's like, oh, no, totally cool. Is it cool if I bring a friend with me? I was like, yeah, of course. So we meet out on Utah Lake, and my cousin comes, and she brings this girl with her, my wife.
Ends up, yeah.
And my wife, she's just the best, right?
Yeah.
And she's super outdoorsy, super fun. She wanted to go wakeboarding, but she had just hurt her foot. She actually was a ballroom dancer at UVU. She had a full ride scholarship going to UVU, but she had just injured her foot and she couldn't wakeboard. So me being the guy I am, I'm like, hey, why don't you come out and I'll take you wakeboarding on my shoulders. So I took her out there, went wakeboarding with her on my shoulders and stuff. We really hit it off. And yeah, I mean, from then on, we just basically saw each other every single day. And
at this point, what were you wrestling at all? Were you training?
No, I had just finished my last fight.
Okay, so we got to back up.
So we got to back up to those days. Kind of skipped over it all.
So you met your wife. How long did you guys date?
We dated for about 6 months before I proposed.
Okay.
We
Typical Utah County.
Typical. And then we waited for a while to get married.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to get married in the Temple, not.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
anyone who's watching this knows exactly.
You know what I mean? But we had to wait. So we did it. It was the hardest thing ever.
Yeah.
But we did it right.
Awesome.
And we got married up in Seattle.
Cool.
Bellevue Temple there.
That's crazy. How my wife is from Washington too.
Oh, that's awesome.
From Vancouver.
Oh, sweet.
So anyway.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got married and did the dang thing and
cool.
It was awesome.
Okay, so backtrack. So you get home from your mission. Do you immediately start training again?
No.
Or what do you do?
So I basically was just getting into weightlifting, right? Because I wanted to do something. I wanted to stay athletic. Wanted to stay.
You graduated at 100. Well, you didn't walk around 125 pounds. You wrestled 125. I mean, you probably walked around at like 140, 150.
145-ish.
Yeah. What'd you weigh when you got back from your mission?
I was like 160.
Like good 160 or like
no. That was like one of the ways that I got into doors while I was in Jamaica, because I was they called me Fatty Boom Boom down in Jamaica, and it was one of the easiest ways to get into people's doors is to be like, what do you guys eat out here? Like in Jamaica, I've never had something, and they'd always want to feed you.
I bet you were a killer missionary. I bet you were great.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
I loved every second of it. So that's one of the ways we got in. So obviously coming home, I wasn't like fat or anything, but I wanted to make sure I got in shape. So I got in shape really well. I was walking around like 180 is about what I was walking around at. And we went into a Best Buy one time with my brother Ryan, and he ran into one of his old mission companions who just so happened to be a wrestler at BYU. He used to wrestle at BYU back in the day.
When they had a program.
Yeah. And they look at me, they like size me up, just like you were saying earlier. Right? When you run into a wrestler. So this guy, Adam Lagaw.
Oh.
Yeah. Sized me up.
Small world, yeah.
And he's like, dude, you look like a wrestler. And Ryan, of course, he's like, oh, yeah. Dude, he's a state champion. He's done this. And he's like.
And there's a trend when you're with your brothers, I feel like you end up getting
Dude, they're my hype man. They're my hype man. It's awesome.
That's sweet, yeah.
So he ended up saying, hey, dude, why don't you come out? I'm opening up this gym called Throwdown. Mm-hmm. And it's a jiu-jitsu, MMA gym. We're just getting it started. Why don't you come over and come wrestle with us? So that night I went and wrestled with them. And, dude, I was just tossing them all over the place.
Were you in heaven? You hadn't rolled in, 2.5 years, 3 years?
Yeah. I had never been 180 pounds. Having the power behind the speed and behind all
and the knowledge,
the technique and everything like that.
Yeah.
And these guys looked at me and they're like, holy crap, dude, you got to fight.
Wait, was that who was like, was Court McGee there?
None of them were there yet.
Rams there?
No, this is before everyone.
All those guys.
Before everyone.
Okay, so Adam Lagaw, funny, Riven. Mm-hmm. So I owned Riven with Adam. I think that's when I met you very first. Yeah, me, Mike Hartle, and Adam owned Riven together.
Yep.
And I think when your fights, we sponsored you.
You did.
Yeah.
Riven was all over.
Dude, I've been trying to figure it out. That's when I think you and I first met.
That's it.
Was it you didn't fight at FitCon, did you?
No.
Or was it it was before that?
I always fought at the throwdowns and the showdowns. I fought on one of Johnny Ritchie's promotions.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I went in there and Adam was like, dude, you got to do a fight. He's like, you're crazy.
But at this point, you'd never boxed, never done like.
I'd never been in a fight. Period.
Crazy.
No, dude, I'm a lover. Not
and
a
you're
fighter.
like, okay. Well, they told you should fight, and you're just like,
I was like,
I'll try it.
Here's the thing: like, if I get an opportunity, more than likely, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
If I get an opportunity to do something, I'm not gonna back down. I want to find something that's always gonna help push me to become a better person, to become a better skill set, to whatever it is. Like, I want to try. And
well, it's funny.
What's the worst thing that's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's afraid of the fear of failure. I'm not. I want to fail, and I want to do it quickly so that I know what, I need to work on
and then improve.
Yeah. So I went into this.
That's a hard truth to like acknowledge.
Yeah.
Like I think most people can't really they say that. Like you post, dude, I'm not obsessed with you, but I've kind of read every post you posted in the past like 2 years. And you posted something and you're just like the doers and the sayers, that post, or maybe you sent it to me in a text critics, or something.
The talkers.
Yeah, and the doers.
And
the critics, all these people saying they'll do it, or like they're criticizing.
Thousands of
the people in the arena.
Yep.
And then you got the
talkers, all the people that say they're going to do it.
And just don't show up.
Yeah. But then there's only like 2 or 3 people that actually do it.
And they do it understanding big chance they're going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it, but the fight you just took, we talked about
it.
I mean, crazy. Anyway, okay, so your first fight, I want to hear about your first
one was actually
good old Adam Legoth. Dude, that's funny. The names that are going out in here.
So we go in there and they're like, hey, we're doing a fight in like 4 weeks. You should do it. I was like, 4 weeks? How am I going to get ready for an MMA fight in 4 weeks? Before my first fight, I didn't throw one punch.
You didn't box at all?
Never. I don't even know what I was thinking.
You just rolled jiu-jitsu for 4 weeks? Or
just rolled.
But did you do jiu-jitsu or wrestling? Because those are two completely different.
Both.
I mean,
we would have our relative stand-up, but I was afraid of boxing. Just straight up, I was scared. Like, they had their fight team and everything like that, and I would always make up excuses that I couldn't go to the fight team. So that's like the one thing I was scared of, is getting in the ring and boxing these guys. But I wasn't afraid to get in the ring and actually wrestle them, right?
Because you knew.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of the top wrestlers.
No one was going to take me down.
Yeah.
They weren't going to take me down.
What weight did you fight at?
So my first fight, I was at 170.
So you only had to do like a 10-pound cut?
Uh-huh. It was super easy.
Yeah.
It was an easy cut. I fought against a guy who, I don't even remember his name, but he owned a company and he had done a couple fights before. And so I went into this fight. He threw a couple punches at me. I threw I threw something out there. I think I hit him. I don't know, but I hurried and just took him down to the ground. Got into the crucifix, and then I elbowed him twice, and he went out.
Is that the first time you slept someone?
First time ever.
How'd that feel?
It was the best feeling ever. Dude, it was the coolest feeling. Cool. I like get up all jacked up. It was the best thing ever.
Oh, that is cool.
So, yeah, within 2 minutes, I had the guy knocked out cold.
So how many fights did you do?
Yeah. Got me addicted.
Yeah.
So I stayed with it. And I ended up doing 6 pro MMA fights.
What's your record?
I did 4 fights at 170, and I was undefeated at 170. The 2 fights that I actually took and I cut weight hard down to 155, I lost both of them.
Just because you were depleted?
I don't know. I don't think it's because I was depleted.
Fought better.
I think I fought some better people. But, yeah, I mean, the first one I should have won. I had the guy multiple times, and I just gassed out hard. The second one, I shouldn't have fought the guy. He's just a tall Muay Thai guy. Yeah. And here I was thinking that my striking at the time was good enough to stand and bang with the guy instead of just do my game plan and take him down. Had I taken him down, I would have been fine. But I tried to stand and bang with him, and they stopped the fight due to strikes.
Huh. Have you ever been knocked out cold?
No. I've only been knocked out cold on the slip and slide I made.
But never due to punches or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so you've got 6 fights. Well, how did and remind me your wife's name? Ashley. That's my wife's name too. That's why I thought that. Yep. But then I thought Ashley Marquette, right? Because of the shirts we were making. Okay. What does she think about it all?
About the fight that I just took?
About the fights. When you guys were dating, were you still fighting?
No.
You were done at that point.
I basically just finished up my last fight.
Did she know you while you were fighting then? So she's never seen you be in a fight?
She had never seen me compete.
Okay.
She'd never seen me fight. So that was always one thing, and she'd always heard stories and everything like that. Again, she came into the scene where, you know, I was this DJ, and I had all this following. I had all these people, you know, wanting to do stuff with us. I was throwing all these big parties.
Yeah.
I was doing these big, like, pal trips and all these things like that, that it was so fun, had everybody involved, and she loved it. And, you know, I'm just saying this, and I don't know if this is how she really feels, but she saw that, like, I was the man.
Yeah.
I was the guy.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody wanted to be around and come be a part of, because whatever I was going to do, I was going to do it the best.
Like full out.
Full out.
Yeah.
And
There's
so
you have one speed.
Oh, yeah.
If
I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do it the very best.
Totally.
Like, even playing Uno. Everybody hates playing board games because I'm just so competitive. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to win.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to just play.
Yeah.
I want to win.
Like that.
So, anyway.
So, okay, then you guys get married.
Uh-huh.
At what point do you go and start working with your brothers at Bucked Up?
So, it was about 3 years into it that we...
Bucked Up. Mm-hmm. And Bucked Up started, what,
20? 3 years into our marriage.
Oh, into your marriage. Okay.
Only about a year and a half into Bucked Up.
Okay.
Yeah, 2016 was when Bucked Up started. And I went over there around probably at the beginning of 2018.
Did you go over there as the sales guy? Like as I know it probably wasn't called the CSO, but, or did you just go over there as like, hey, try and get us into these stores?
Not even that. So I went over there. Of course, I love supplements. Loved being part of the industry. And I had a pretty good following. Of course, my brother loved having me come out and go to some of the samplings and different things that they were doing. I loved it, right? At the time, I was having a ton of success being a mortgage loan officer. And Ryan was just like, hey, dude, like, I would love to have you come over here, but I don't know if we can afford you and different things like that. And anyway, it came to the point where I was like, dude, I knew I had to be part of it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, Ryan, I don't care what you pay me. I just want to come over and be part of it. And he's like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, whatever you need help with. So I went over there to Bucked Up basically as Ryan's assistant.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, I just need help with all these different things. So us being who we are, we're going to come in and we're going to try and just do the very best we can with see that there was an issue and try and resolve it. Don't ask questions, just go and work and try and figure things out. So that's what we did together. Being with Ryan from the very beginning with that stuff, I mean, they had their core supplements, they had their core stuff, and we would sell to multiple companies. So I came in to help manage accounts. I came in to help manage the process of new product development. Mm-hmm. I helped manage the warehousing. I helped manage the AR.
You wore like every hat.
I wore almost every hat. So I came in and it really allowed Ryan to do what they're best at, Ryan and Jeff.
Scale.
To come in and scale. And so all the busy work, the day-to-day work, the grunt work, that was all thrown on me. And I just saw it as an awesome opportunity.
Yeah.
So
well, hindsight's always 20/20, but it turned out pretty good for you because now
pretty dang good.
I don't know. Can you say what is your expected sales for this year?
Well,
globally, because it's a global. Like we were just talking, you're global. I mean, it's not just an American, not just a Utah. It's global.
Yeah. I mean, so when I came in, we were doing around like 250K a month is about what we were doing. So we were on trend to do about 2.5-3 million a year. Mm-hmm. So when we started, and this year we're looking probably somewhere around 300 mil.
Jeez, and that's just sales.
That's just sales. That's just gross revenue.
And that's your products. Bucked Up has every product you can imagine.
Yeah, name it.
Like you gave me a beef stick the other day, which was delicious.
Yeah, that's not out yet.
That I probably shouldn't
teaser.
have said. Sorry.
No, it's out. It's okay. Tease it.
No, but dude,
it's coming.
Everything you guys make is so damn good. Like even this, like I put these out, like shameless plug, but like I haven't tried this one yet.
It's awesome.
Cherry Blossom, Bucked Up Babe. But I have your Bucked Up Babe energy packs.
Yeah, the boosts.
I do one every day.
Oh, they're awesome.
They're great.
They're so great.
Everything. Like I do your 6-point creatine. I do your, actually, no, you know, one thing I can't do is Mother Bucker.
Oh, it's a lot.
I took Mother Bucker for like a week and I thought my heart was going to explode, but I was too prideful to not take it. Yeah. But dude, it was a lot. And I was talking to Jeff, and Jeff's like, oh, I can't even take that. That's dude, for like
Jeff and Ryan. The funny thing about Jeff and Ryan, they can only take Bucked Up. Like, and even that, like they have to take the 100 series of Bucked Up.
He was like, I'm trying to stop.
It's crazy. So in the industry, it's like, obviously you want to be what you would do for yourself, right? You want to come out with all those products for yourself, but that's not what the brand is. The brand is, it doesn't matter where you are on your fitness journey, we have something for you. Yeah. Like even my 99-year-old grandma is taking some of our stuff.
Like I said, there's not a product that you guys don't have.
Yeah.
Like literally, if you want a multivitamin or if you want zinc or if you want like vitamin, like there's a Bucked Up for that, right? I mean, like
a lot of people don't even know this. You can go on our Amazon, just on our Amazon account, and you can find all of those raw ingredients, just like you're talking about. Yeah. You can find every single one of them. Like, do you want berberine? Yeah. Do you want collagens, a different kind of collagen? Do you want, what kind of creatine do you want? We have like 8 different kinds of creatines.
Well, and I go into your shop and everyone's so knowledgeable. I'm not as knowledgeable as I should be about it. So I'll just ask the girl at the front desk who's probably like 18 years old. And it's kind of humbling. Like, hey, what kind of creatine should I have? She's like, what are you looking for? And she like pulls all these different ones. Like, do you want less bloating? Do you want this? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'll take 2 of those things.
That's right.
But it's awesome because they're passionate. The culture inside of Bucked Up is there's not another supplement or energy drink company out there that has the same culture as Bucked Up. And I'll die on that hill because it's a Utah brand. I think the people in Utah love the fact that it's a Utah brand. Oh, yeah. And you guys are heavy Utah. Oh, yeah. Heavy, like, you love, well, it seems you guys love heavy America.
We're all LDS. Yeah. You know.
It's all like a good, but the culture there, dude, like, I work a lot with Jaden. I love Jaden. She loves it there. Like, all the people there just love work. When people tell you they work at Bucked Up, there's a pride. I mean, 100%. There's pride. I mean, not a lot of people... Yeah, not a lot of people are like, I work at this place and I love it, but you work at Bucked Up, and people are like, no, I like. Oh, like Jaden, like everyone loves it. So
it's the best, and it is. It's kind of like a badge of honor going around saying that you get to work at Bucked Up. It's really humbling, right? Because it's not what we say about our brand, and I'll say this every single time I get on any show or any podcast or any sales pitch that I get on. When I'm talking to all these huge companies like Kroger, Walmart, any of these companies, I always say, look, it's not what we say about our brand. It's what everyone else is saying about our brand. And this right here, the stuff that you make for us and the stuff that's all over now, everyone is proud of wearing the Buck.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone will wear it because it's cool. It's hip. It's an awesome logo. Like, they look cool. They feel cool wearing it. And the culture, like you said, that's been
crazy,
just made is so fun to be a part of.
There is not a company that we do gear for. Not a company that we do gear for that I'm not like, oh, we do Bucked Up stuff. Like, just like sliding it right in there, like, oh, you guys know Bucked Up? Yeah, they're like $1 billion. Yeah, we just like do some of their stuff for them. Like, it's like, and when I say that, it's immediate, like, oh, this guy's legit.
Yeah.
Because the other thing with Bucked Up, not only is it a great culture, but there's quality involved. And there's like, when you're getting Bucked Up, you're not getting garbage. Right. You're not getting garbage thrown together in a can. Like, it's good stuff. Like, you can feel it.
We pride ourselves in that. Yeah. Right. There's 2 main things that you will make sure you get with Bucked Up every single time. 1, efficacy, right? Yeah. Are the products going to do what they say they're going to do, right? We don't skimp around that at all. We will always make sure you have the best products. And 2, it will always taste the very best. Dude, we have the best flavors out of anything that's out there. I don't care what product it is, whether our pre-workouts, our energy drinks, our new protein drinks. Oh, bro. Have you tried those?
Yeah. You gave me when I was down there last time, and now I can't find it.
Harmon's.
Is it back in Utah? Well, remember when I was there, you're like, dude, they sold out.
Yeah.
But they're back. You're back. Oh, you told me you ordered another like 60,000 cans that you sold before you got here.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. So our very first order, we brought in 52,000 cases.
Okay, people need to understand, this is you. you brought in 50,000 cases. You're selling. Like this is DJ Dan.
Dude, it's the company again.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all of that
we built up to. It's not just me. I can't take full
credit
for that because we did a huge thing
say?
over TikTok and everything like that. But like, it is, you're selling yourself. You're getting relationships with everybody and like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean like you are like, but it's like you're in charge of that. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like you are in charge of getting a new product. And I know how hard it is to get new product anywhere. And you sold 52,000 cans before it arrived.
Sold all 52,000 cases, not cans.
Cases, that's right, cases. Which the case has what, 12?
12 cans.
Sheesh.
We sold every single one of them in 5 days.
And then you ordered another 60 or 70,000?
And we ordered another 52,000.
Was it 50,000?
And we sold all those in the next. And then we ordered 120,000, and we just sold through all those. And now we're ordering 200,000. And we're already getting pre-orders and everything like that.
I posted mine, and I had like 15 people like, "Where'd you get that?" And I'm like, "I know DJ Dan."
Yeah, right.
I was like, "No, I went up, and I had to get." But even when I went up to your shop, they were like, or to the HQ, there was not a lot there.
Yeah.
But okay, so as you can tell, Dan's wildly successful. He's done really well. He works hard. So now let's talk about your face. So a couple months ago, which by the way, I'm looking at your eye, and my eyes are watering. My eyes are watering because of this big red. This big red. Like, I mean, you got in a fight, dude. But I want to talk about what events leading up to it because you're freaking brothers, man. So tell us what happened. So Dan and Bucked Up. Well, Bucked Up is involved with bare knuckle fights.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, bare knuckle fights is you get into the ring with another lunatic. Mm-hmm. You're all lunatic. Anyone who gets into a ring,
crazy
lunatic. You're a lunatic. I told you this.
Yeah.
And you fight each other. And the rules are a little different than boxing because you can hit them while they're down as long as it's like continuous strikes, right? Or no?
No, you can't hit them while they're down at all.
Oh, okay. So never mind. So
it is boxing
it's
rules.
Same
the
boxing.
only difference is that you can punch in the clinch.
Oh, that's what it was. I knew it was okay. Yeah. So you can dirty box a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that what? Okay.
Yep.
So, but no, I mean, some people wrap their wrists. Some people don't, right? I mean, or do you have to wrap your wrists?
You don't have to wrap your wrists.
It's good so you don't break your wrists. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to.
And so a couple months ago, I'll let you tell a story, but you're at a bare knuckle fight and you're talking to the owner of BKFC and your brothers, and then tell us how you got volunteered for this crap.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did get involved in the BKFC, and it is so awesome. So a couple years ago, we got approached to be part of this, and it wasn't as big at the time. And we're like, this is probably the biggest marketing play that we've ever done because it was a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to go all in on it. And
shocker.
Yeah, we went all in on it, and we really hit the jackpot because the very first fight that they did as a Bucked Up title sponsor was out in Colorado, and that was when they had Eddie Alvarez, Chad Mendez, Mike Perry, Luke Rockhold,
all these MMA,
Big Ben Rothwell, all these guys all on the same card. Like they threw it all out there, and it was huge, and it was one of the craziest events ever. Everybody was.
Did you go out there for it?
We went out to it. Yeah. And it was so big that Conor McGregor ended up coming out.
That's right.
So it started just blowing up. So the fights were unbelievable, best fights ever, and it just blew up on social media like crazy. And so we really hit the jackpot in our risk of going out there and becoming the title sponsor. It just so happened that after that, Conor fell in love with it. He's like, dude, I got to be part of this. He ended up buying into BKFC. And anyway, we were the title sponsor for every single event, every single one of them. And we really got a lot of publicity from it. And it wasn't until, we did an event here in Utah that me and my brothers, we were all sitting here ringside, and the owner, Dave Feldman, he was sitting there, and we were all just, feeling it. We were amped up. It was the coolest thing because when you go to these fights, these things are crazy. You can't help but just get in it and like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Well, the one in Salt Lake, I was sitting, thanks for those tickets, by the way, but I was sitting pretty high up, and I could hear Ben Moa hitting a dude. And I say Benmo but I could hear the punches hitting this dude in the face. And do you remember that fight against, like, he was a big like Indian guy?
Yeah.
And he was just eating Ben Moa's punches and just not fall. I'm like, dude, fall down.
It's the crazy, like,
Oh,
you've seen
man.
fights before, but you've never seen a bare knuckle.
Well,
like the sounds, even
technicality,
the smells,
too.
Everything is totally different.
You see a street fight and it's two dudes throwing haymakers. This isn't that mostly. I mean, sometimes you get two dudes in there just crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not haymakers. It's like, it's boxing without gloves. Like, they're talented.
It's nuts.
You got like Mike Perry, who's your buddy. Like,
Yeah.
he can box.
Oh, yeah.
With gloves on, he's scary.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the guys that are doing this are all the guys that are former UFC fighters or like the top of their classes, and they're coming over here and doing this. So when we were sitting there with Dave and everybody, obviously emotions are running high.
Yeah.
Like, this is so sick. And he looks at me, of course, that look again.
The wrestler.
You look like you're a wrestler.
Yeah.
You look like you're a fighter. And again, they're like, dude, Dan, you should do one of these. And my brother's like, yeah, he's done 6 pro fights before. And he's like, do you want to do it? Dave was asking, do you want to do a fight? You need to do one. I'm like, hey, if you can talk my wife, who is sitting there ringside with us, if you can talk my wife into let me do this, I'm in.
Secretly, are you like, Ashley, please say no? Ashley, please say no.
No, dude, I love this crap.
Dude, you're nuts.
Like, it's so weird, but I love a challenge.
Yeah.
Period. I love a challenge. And am I going to be the best at it? Probably not, but I'm still going to push myself, to try and do it. So anyway, it came down to the point where my wife agreed, Dave agreed, they let me do a fight. So they signed me up for the one here in Utah, and that's why my face looks the way that it looks right now. I just did the fight. It was on Saturday, May 10th. And what is today? What's today? The 13th. It was 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I went out and did this fight. So
if you want inspiration, go read some of his posts. Like I said, I'm kind of fangirling a little bit, but not a lot. But go read your posts, because they're like the one that got me. I came into headquarters and you're like, dude, will you read this?
Yeah.
And I read it and I got like teary eyed, dude, because the My Why fight, it's pretty awesome because it can relate to pretty much any part of life. Like you just mentioned your father-in-law's going through some stuff. Like, it's hard sometimes to be in the fight, right? Like, sorry, I get emotional because we're all going through shit. Everybody is. Go read the post. It's pretty cool. But okay, so you have an advantage, some advantages while you're training. You're training with Mike Perry. You're kind of like the poster child for like Bucked Up, BKFC. So they're pushing it, right? Like, it's a pretty cool thing. You're training. You were supposed to train with Conor McGregor, right, when he came out, but
supposed to,
whatever. Yeah. You're training with Clay, who's your buddy, who's a boss, who's fighting. You said he just got a contract to fight with another outfit.
So he was in the he had just done a fight in the PFL, and luckily he was just released, so he's open, and they're probably going to have him come over and do bare knuckle.
God, that's crazy,
dude. This
crazy
guy,
dudes.
He will be the champ.
Yeah, you were saying.
No, I'm not just saying. Like, I'm putting this out there.
Yeah,
this dude is the most legit boxer in the state, and he will become.
Well, you were telling me, you're like, dude, this guy's legit, and he's hungry, right?
Oh yeah.
So you told me a couple things. I'm going to just kind of bring this up because I think they're so cool, and you're probably going to remember telling me. I asked you, how does your kids feel about it? Do you remember what you told me? Like, do your kids know you're fighting? Do you remember what you said?
What did I say?
You were like, oh yeah, they love it. I bring them. I want them to know Dad's doing this because I want them to know. They go with you when they train.
Well, you bring up like what was really the why behind me doing this? Like, dude, this is crazy. Like, let's think about it for a second.
And the dude you're fighting, he was a monster. He was a big dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, he looked big, and I looked at his Instagram. He's a lifer.
Yeah, he is.
He's a fighter. I mean, that's what your profession is. You are a CSO of $1 billion company. His is probably a fighter.
I really believe that if you're going to do something, you got to do it all in.
Yeah.
Right. So like, if I'm going to fight someone, why not fight that guy?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But
why not? Yeah, why not do against the guy that's? They could have given me a chump.
Yeah.
Right. And I would have come out the hero and all that kind of stuff. But no, let's fight someone who's actually legit. Let's fight someone who's actually been in there before. So, but my why behind this whole entire thing was, number one, for my family, for my kids. Like we talked about, my wife has never seen me actually compete in fighting. Like I've done a few powerlifting competitions, being married to her and stuff, and she loves to be my supporter. I mean, there's nothing more attractive to a woman than someone who is willing to push themselves out of their comfort zone to try and accomplish something. Like that was the whole goal, is to push myself and show my kids and my family that if you have a goal, if you have something that you want to achieve, it's going to be hard. This isn't easy stuff. If it's something that's really worthwhile or something that's something you really want, it's going to be hard. It's going to suck. You're going to have to swim through deep water, right? I brought my kids to the practices. I brought my kids with me to whatever I was doing because I want them to see that dad is willing to do what it takes to go out there and compete, right? So huge why, right? I want the kids, the family, and anybody to see that, like, look, this isn't just because I'm the CSO and we're the title sponsor and I can go out there and I can get this fight because that's of the title, right? It's all the work that you had to put into it before you even step onto the mat. And the experiences, the training, the disciplines, all the things that I had to go through to get to the point to just step on the mat was the win for me.
Yeah.
Like, before I even got onto the mat to fight this dude, I felt like I had already won. And that's what was so cool to me and why this was so important, is for me to go out there and to get to the point in my life again where I am a competitor, where I am doing what I'm passionate about and doing the things that show, like, hey, I can do this and be put on this platform, be put on this, there was so much pressure. So much pressure. I mean, we had every single employee from Bucked up there. We had all my friends, all my family. Everybody was there. You want to talk about pressure? I felt it.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that it wasn't necessarily about the win or the loss. It was about showing everyone that I could step back into that fire again and compete. And that fire in me still lives. And it won't ever die, right? The only way it dies is if you let it die, if you choose to let it die. And I'm not going to let that die in me. I'm going to keep competing. I'm going to keep pushing myself. I want to keep progressing in life and not just become this mediocre man.
God, that's ultra motivating, man. The other thing people need to understand is not only you wildly successful in your business, I seen you bench like a cow. Like you literally bench like a cow 14. I think it was like 4 plates on each side and you did it like 3 or 4 different times or something like that. Yeah. Is that what it was? I mean, you're humble, but I mean, you're not like, you're always competing anyway. So to see you do this, it doesn't surprise me that you took the fight, but also I'm like, you're nuts. But it doesn't surprise me because there's certain people who are always up for a fight and like always up to help, always up to be there. They just always, I think we're both you're 41, you're 3 months older than me or 2 months older than me. I think there's a stigma when you turn 40 that you kind of just get tired. Yeah. And I do. And I was sitting on my couch, just sitting there being a bitch, I guess. Maybe that's what you'd call it. Like just tired and dude, like I got so much to do. And I opened up my Instagram. This is when I saw your kid and you boxing. Yeah. And I was like, dude, he could do that after. I know what the stresses of your work are. I know what the stresses of being a parent are, being a husband are. And then after all that, I look at, and I'm sitting on the couch and I look at my Instagram. Instagram's a powerful tool. It can be such a powerful tool. It can be. It can also be the biggest time suck another day. But, and I remember looking at it, and do you remember the post? I don't remember if it was a post or a story, but I seen your kid and he had your little boy, he had his big gloves on. And you were in, looked like a garage, maybe with like a floor. Maybe it was in
the Bucked up gym.
Yeah. Yep. And I was like, man, like we're the same age. Why am I so tired? And he's out there like competing. And so like it motivated me. So super motivating, man. What are the plans for the future?
I mean, really the plans for the future are just to continue to keep pushing myself to whatever it is that I want to do next. I'm just push yourself into doing the next thing.
Dude, you know what you need to do? And I'd sign up. You need to do like a monthly challenge for 40-year-olds.
That'd be sick.
Like on your Instagram, just pull something together and just say, hey, like, don't be a bitch. This month we're just gonna climb the Y. Or this month we're gonna do this. But it's gonna take training, but I'm gonna do it because I think it's easier, you know, the strength in numbers thing. You should do something like that.
I mean, if you want to sit down and list them out, look, I had every reason to not do the fights.
We talked about it.
I had every reason to just not do it, right? And we can come up with a lot of lists. When we're old or we have injuries or whatever it is, like we have all these lists that we can do. We could choose to not do it. And a lot of the times that's what really stops us from being able to go and do stuff. But my question is always, why not? Why not? Why not do it? It's only going to make me a better person. You know, the fear of failure, who cares, man? Who are you trying to impress? Who am I trying to impress? Like, yeah, did I lose that fight? Yep, I did. I lost. I didn't follow my game plan. I didn't do the things that I was supposed to, but I don't regret that for 1 second, stepping in there and doing it, because I proved to myself first that I could still go out there and compete and I can push myself and become better, right? I proved to my kids, I proved to my family that I can go out there and be a better person, right? And so all these other critics, all these other naysayers, all these people that are in your head telling you that, no, you shouldn't do it and you should be afraid and you should do all this stuff, why are you listening to them, right? So to go and to do something like that where we push ourselves, you know, there's a guy named Jimmy Rex that has this program. It's called the We Are the They. I'm not part of it, but I've heard of hundreds of guys that have gone out and done it. And this is what it kind of reminds me of. It's just guys never have the opportunity to go and do something crazy, right? Jimmy provides them an opportunity to go and do something that they've never done before and to grow as a man and have opportunities. So to do like a challenge or something like that with older guys or with really anybody that wants to push themselves and become more than what they already are, shoot, that'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. And because you're going to think of crazies. I'd be like, all right, let's walk around the corner. Let's play some softball. Like, you're going to be like, let's go fight a shark with a laser on its head.
The funny thing about this whole thing is I already have the domain name. I already have everything ready to go. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. It's called Banff Camp.
I love it.
Banff Camp.
I'll sign up, dude. Send it to me. I'll sign up right now.
It's going to be so
Then
cool.
You got to make me show up. The funny thing about what you said, though, I want to go to this real quick before we end this thing, is you talk about the naysayers. And in my mind, I tell myself this all the time, because starting a business is hard. Doing a fight is hard. Like, following through is hard. And you can have one person that's a little jerk, you know, in your head. And you focus on that one little bastard, that one little guy. But then you said something else earlier. How many people went there to support you?
Oh, my gosh.
Hundreds. How many people were in your corner? Thousands. And yet our minds are so interesting sometimes that they focus on that one little bastard, that one little person who's a little person who they can't do it themselves. So they're going to belittle this person for starting their business, for doing a fight, for being 41 and doing a fight, for, you know, whatever it is. Like, it's interesting to me that that's kind of how, and I talk to other people too, and that's how people are, is we focus on that one person. We don't realize we have thousands of people in our corner.
Thousands.
Like, and so I hope you understood that, man. Like, I mean.
It was the coolest experience, man.
Yeah.
It was the coolest experience, just being able to have people have something to just be on board with and be excited about and to motivate. And it's like the amount of people that have hit me up and have wanted to change their lives because I went and did a fight, right? Or the people that are so motivated and everything like that, they love it. Or just, I mean, like you said, just having people on your side and wanting to support you. That's what it all was about this last week. It was so cool. We had hundreds of people wearing these DJ Dan shirts, and we had all, like, everyone from Bucked Up there. We had all the friends and family there, and it was so cool just to have something for everyone to just get behind and root and be excited about. So if at anything I was that for everyone, dude, that was a win.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Let's say, dude, you may have lost that fight, but you won.
I feel that way.
In so many ways. And you help people. And I think you, to your core, are that guy. You want to help. You want to serve. You want to be that guy. Yeah. So, well, DJ Dan, guys, if you aren't following the man, the international man of mystery, who was apparently a snowboarder or a wakeboarder, probably snowboarder too. He's done it all. But go follow his Instagram and then look for Bamp Camp.
Yeah,
coming to you soon.
Do it.
Okay, well, thanks for coming on, Dan. I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Johnny.
We'll talk soon. Bye. That was fun. That's cool. Oh, that'll be